So I got settled, got onto the plane, got settled in my seat, and I started to read my book as normal. And it's a pretty early flight, like it's scheduled departure time is 7:30. So I started to read my book, and while we were climbing, I did look out the window, and I did notice we weren't heading in the normal direction to Dusseldorf. And I remember looking out the window thinking, this is unusual, but I was tired and I didn't think anything of it. Plus, I'm not an aviation expert. Um, so I wasn't going to, firstly, I didn't think anything was wrong. And secondly, I wasn't going to tell the pilot I knew a quicker way to Dusseldorf.
I was surprised and a bit shocked, I guess, that that could have happened. In fact, a friend of mine who also used to be a pilot, we were having a coffee together and he mentioned it. And I said, "You've got to be joking." But then I checked out and then you called and it's true. Yes, it is extraordinary. Well, I've had a look into it today. The two destinations were leaving from adjoining gates at London City Airport within half an hour of each other. And one of the aeroplanes, in fact, all the airplanes that British Airways fly to Europe and the UK from City Airport are subchartered by a wholly owned subsidiary called City Flyer. But actually today they must have had an aircraft missing or short or something, so they, what we call, leased an aeroplane from a small German company who've only got 4 aeroplanes. And I think that was probably the heart of the issue, because when you lease it in the way they did, you lease the aeroplane, the pilots, the cabin crew, and absolutely everything. So what I assume happened is that somewhere in the translation it got missed. Maybe they had asked them to operate the flight from London City to Edinburgh initially and then changed their mind and the message never got through. Or maybe it was something subsequent to that. But I think the aeroplane and the pilots would have arrived, and as far as they were always concerned, they were going to go to Edinburgh. Lots of checks. I mean, the captain would have to sign the ship's documentation, which must have said, I guess, London to Edinburgh, because I'm sure he wouldn't have signed it if it said London to Dusseldorf and he thought he was going to Edinburgh. And I think the other extraordinary thing is how many times when we get on an aeroplane, we all hear the cabin crew say, "Welcome on board this aeroplane for our flight to wherever we're going." So whether all the business-type passengers were a little bit tannoy deaf and weren't really listening, we will never know. But it does seem an extraordinary sequence of events, which fortunately only has left red faces and nothing worse.
I'll get that little piece of dandruff off.